My name is Suzanne Birrell, and welcome to the Birrell Jones Gallery. With my husband, Chuck Jones, we do mostly platinum palladium prints. This is a technique that was done in the early part of this last century and the late 1800s. They had to stop doing it because the chemicals were rare and they wanted to use them for the war effort, but now it's sort of coming back. And we hand paint them, and you get great detail and warmth and stuff like all the great things. The prints last forever. They don't fade like your Kodak prints. Here's a autumn scene, aspens. You can see the details, the darkness. Again, all hand tinted. So the subtle browns. And then Chuck generally shoots documentary film pictures, so whatever's there, so that little kid just happened to be there. And then again, sometimes we have to print them several times before we get them just right, and then we paint them. And here's a typical New Mexican scene, a blue dog in a trailer in wintertime. Here's our dog. Just subtle coloring to make it look old-fashioned. I like to do clay. So here is a bottle that I've done. It's about 3 feet tall. It's a coil bottle. And of course it's high fire, and clay is clay, and it does warp a bit. It doesn't hold as much as you'd think it does. We also have a friend who makes books, and he's got a collection of books here. These are all hand-stitched quality paper. Some of them are special watercolor books, but very nice binding. You can see how he layers them in there. Everything done in an old-fashioned way, and every binding is customed, is a custom made. So, and then here we have some more smaller pieces. 3 ladies ready for Mardi Gras on a distant scene. This is in Mexico. And some of my favorite, we did shooting the blessing of the horses in Mexico. So you can see it's so detailed here. You get into back, you can recognize some of those people. The detail is so good. Look at that man with the yellow shirt. Just not coloring them all. And here's another scene. This one's behind glass. But look at the detail. Yeah. And then subtly colored. The sky. I also, like I do clay. Here's my monster. When I was making this, a little kid used to come in the studio and tell him her daily trials. Then these are bottles. All of this is high flyer clay. And for craft, on the craft end, I like to make incense burners, which also double as vases for dried flowers. I just love how the shadows are cast from this. And here is my blues player. I spent some time down in New Orleans. And my dogmen. I did this one year and sold more of those, all to jilted women. So my latest project is I'm starting on collages I haven't done in years, and this is a cityscape. It's got a fence, flowers in the foreground, crowded cities. I think cities are going to become obsolete. And then more bottles, which can be used, of course, to set off your art. Here's one of my favorites. Put a little copper leaf on that. I also do graphic arts. Here's one I did for the high road. Chuck takes pictures in Mexico. Look at how the printing style, you can see into the room. You don't generally get that. You can't get the variety of darks and lights with a regular photograph. And then here is Mesa Verde. I went down to New Orleans and did some clay images of some of the musicians I saw there. Because I play, you can see all the hand positions are just right. I've probably sold more saxophone players than anybody else. And here, there's a female bass player in the back, of course, because I'm a female bass player. The piano is 2 pieces, and this is my tower. It's about 3 feet tall. I made it in '99. Most people who look at it think it was made in 9/11. They say artists sometimes predict the future. Anyway, it's sort of a somber piece, but I somehow think that it's when we're at our lowest things go better. So, see people, thoughtful people. It's based, the characters are based on the scream. And then on a lighter note, I have another version of the monster. This is actually a puppet. I like to do paper mache. This is more of a cast plastic and paper mache style. He's a friendly guy. I do script writing. There's a cartoon based on the adventures of Osmathus. Thank you for visiting our gallery.